It is now 7:15 and the meeting is called to order. Mr. Clerk,
Mayor Joseph,
here.
Councilman Galvin,
Here.
Vice Mayor Keys,
Here.
Councilman Bieneme,
Here.
Councilwoman Steril.
Here.
Mayor, we have a quorum.
Thank you very much. We'll proceed with Pledge of Allegiance with Officer Ramon de Jesus from North Miami Police Department.
Please place your right hand over your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. And we'll proceed with invocation with Pastor Cheryl Sejour from Gateway Foursquare Church.
Good evening, Mayor, Doctor, Council, City staff. It is an honor to bring the invocation this evening. May we bow our heads. Father God, Lord of all creation, it is an honor to be in the council chambers of North Miami City and to invoke your blessing upon this meeting tonight. We know that you are a God that desires to bless. And so we ask you to bless us with your presence. Bless us with wisdom, Lord. Bless the council with protection and wise decision making, Lord. We ask that you would bless this city, Lord, this wonderful city of North Miami, a city of progress. You already know the beginning and the end of everything. And so we submit tonight to you. We ask you, Lord, to bless every decision that is made tonight. And we thank you, Father, that you are the King eternal, immortal, invisible, the only wise God. To you be the honor and the glory forever and ever. Amen.
Thank you. We'll proceed with a few special presentations that we have tonight in recognition of the Women History Month and some other recognitions. The first recognition goes to Miss Marlene Bastien in honor of Women's History Month. Marlene Bastien could not make it here tonight because she has a prior engagement, and however, Miss Marie Woodson will please come forward to receive the certificate on behalf of Miss Bastien. Miss Bastien is from Haïtien na Miami. She is the executive director and the founding member of the association. And this is being presented to her in honor of Women's History Month. It reads as follows: the City of North Miami recognizes you, well, she's not here, for your tireless work of advocacy, don't make me laugh, of advocacy in education, immigration, human rights, and various other social services. Your work, Ms. Marlene Bastien, will continue to benefit our countless residents throughout this community and beyond. Thank you very much for your continued dedication. Presented this 24th day of March 2015. Thank you, Ms. Woodson, for accepting this award on behalf of Ms. Bastien. Actually, Ms. Woodson happens to be the highest ranked woman of Haitian descent in Miami-Dade County, where she is responsible for how many employees? 356. Okay, 400. Thank you very much for coming. Okay. The second recognition goes. Actually, we have. Are we gonna do them all at the same time or one by one? No, let's do them one by one. The recognition to Sergeant Patrick McNally. Please come forward. Hmm? I don't like it when the cops are not here. Okay. Apparently, Sergeant McNally couldn't make it here tonight. No, this is the Jesus. This is the Jesus. My chief and the assistant chiefs, commanders and majors, they all know how I feel about the police department. Police department, as you know it, Chief, how do you say it again? It starts with in Parks, but ends up with you guys? Yes, right? Yes. That's the way it goes? So pretty much the buck stops with them. I mean, when we all sleeping at night, 1 o'clock, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, we're in the fourth and fifth stage of sleeps, REM sleep, deep, dreams like you're flying like an angel. These guys, they on the ground, make sure that our houses are not broken into, that our businesses are safe, our kids are safe during the day, they can play around. So it is all because of the great work of the police department. I cannot imagine the world without police officers. There can be a world without me. We don't need mayors, but we need police officers. And the first one goes to Officer Ray De Jesus. The City of North Miami acknowledges you for your great accomplishments during the 11th Annual Capital City Challenge 2015 Motorcycle Safety Training. Is it Training 1 or Training I?
Training
And. That's calligraphy, the way that it's done like this. This is Creole. Yes. Training and trials event, okay? Your determination, Mr. De Jesus, allowed you to be placed first, listen to this, first in the fun run competition, and second in the team competition, and number 6 in the Mr. Rodeo competition. You are also commended for your nomination as the North Miami Police Department Officer of the Month this year, February. And we don't need to say it, and you do know that your hard work is great. Mr. Can I call you Mr. too?
Whatever you like, Doctor.
Yeah. Are you going to be there at 11 o'clock midnight when the meeting is over?
1 a.m. if that's what we're going.
If the meeting is over at 1 a.m., he leaves at 1:30. He always makes sure that I leave first before he leaves. So, Mr. De Jesus, I didn't bring any candy today, but your hard work is highly regarded.
Thank you, sir.
You want to do it one?
I can do that. Mr. Mayor, I'd like to thank you for this award. I'd like to especially thank the chief and our administration that allows me to travel the state. I try and travel the state about 4 to 5 times a year, and it's due to their dedication and their backing that allows me to go and represent the department. And I take great pride in the fact that they allow me to represent the department. They feel that I'm a worthy person to represent the department. And lastly, I'd like to thank my coworkers and the fact that the administration lets us get out there and make contact with the public. And we don't always make contact with the public in a positive way, but I'd also like to tell you the positive way that we make contact with children. And it's said that a children's heart is like wet cement, and whatever touches that heart is going to make a great impression. And I'd like to just let you guys know that the traffic units out there, 24 hours a day, and mostly in the school zones, morning, afternoon, and your children that are out there, they're making a great impression on their heart. They're teaching them the skills, they're teaching them the morals and the values, and teaching them how to be a safe individual and a better, grow up to be a better resident of the city of North Miami. And in closing, I would just like to thank my administration, my wonderful chief, that allows me to do the things that I do. Thank you very much.
It's up to them. Chief, you want to take just one shot for all of us or one by one? The second one goes to, I guess, you. Officer Michael Cherry. When I saw the request for this recognition, I said it could not come at a better time, the month for, when we're celebrating women. And as we all know, there cannot be life without women, there cannot be men without women. So having said that, the city of North Miami acknowledges you, Officer Cherry, for your great accomplishment and dedication as the Assistant Director of Police Athletic League, which is the PAL, as one of the recipients of the 2015 Women of Inspiration honorees by the Greater North Miami Chamber of Commerce. Your commitment to this community is greatly appreciated, Officer.
Oh, De Jesus, can you come back and say it again? I'm not much of a speaker, but thank you. I'm honored, humbled. I know this is an award for inspiration, but my children is the one who inspired me. Thank you.
No, I still want to read the one for Officer McNally. I'm very proud of my police officers. Sergeant Patrick McNally, the city of North Miami.
He looks like it.
Yeah. You look like it.
Imagine the 3 stripes.
The city of North Miami recognizes you, not you, for your great accomplishment as the recipient of the Safety Award Category 2 during the Law Enforcement Officers Charitable Foundation Awards Gala on Saturday, March 7th, 2015. Your continuous commitment to this community is greatly appreciated and held at the highest regard. Presented this 24th day of March 2015. Good job, keep it up. Now, our wonderful councilwoman of District 4, Miss Marie-Ellen Steril, is going to please come forward and make a few presentations as well. The only councilwoman. Oh, no, we have one.
No, we have a vice mayor.
Oh, vice mayor, that's true.
Good evening, everyone. You see, if the mayor did not have a chance to be a doctor or the mayor, he would have a job regardless. He would be the comedian. So thank you so much, Mr. Mayor, for your introduction. I don't know what it was, but thank you. But anyways, for the past 3 years, the city of North Miami have been celebrating Women History Month. And we did recognize and acknowledge and celebrate a few women in our community from different paths of life. But however, I have been inspired to continue to do this celebration, but without the strong and the hardworking women in the city of North Miami, this event would never make it to what it was, especially last week. It is my pleasure to actually recognize those women in the city of North Miami that has been working very hard to make this event what it always been. Saying all that, I would like to call Dr. Luman Previous Claude. Dr. Claude, in recognition of your tireless work and dedication to the North Miami community, presented and honored of National Women History Month, the 19th day of March 2015. Thank you so much for your continuous work. And the next person is Pamela Solomon. It says the same thing, so I'm not going to read it all. Thank you so much, Pam, for your hard work. I hope you don't have to take the pictures of yourself. Megan Tuman. Thank you so much, Megan, for your work. I'm just going to make it a little fast. Natasha Colebrook Williams. Thank you, Tasha, for your hard work. Stephanie Thomas. Thank you, Steph. That's yours, Megan. Thank you. And of course, Megan stays for pictures. And of course, my own Katia Filippo. Thank you so much, Katia, for your hard work from the Mayor's and Council office. And we do have 2 other people who actually not here tonight. I would like to recognize them as well. It's Andrea Ramos, that's in Park and Recreation, and Cynthia Raymond. Thank you to both of them.
Ms. Solomon, you may come forward for city events.
Good evening, everyone here at the council meeting and watching online and at home on Channel 77. It gives me great pleasure to share with you a few of our highlights as we move forward to conclude the month of March and move into the month of April. This Friday, we are hosting Jazz at Mocha. As you are aware, Jazz at Mocha is South Florida's longest running free outdoor jazz concert series. And we are featuring the World of Music 5, who offer a unique repertoire of acoustic music fusing jazz with Afro-Latin American and Caribbean rhythms, as well as world genres and European harmony. Galleries at Mocha are open by donation from 7 to 10, and the concert begins at 8 p.m. For more information, you can visit mocanomi.org, that's MOCANOMI.org, or call 305-893-6211. On Saturday, March 28th, that's this Saturday, we are hosting a Nomi Musical Nights concert and presenting Mocha Folk Night. Folk Night at Mocha is a new event that brings together the community of musicians and songwriters that explore the roots of traditional and contemporary folk music, working in collaboration with the Museum of Contemporary Art, Luna Star Cafe, and Michael Stock from WLRN. We will host this free concert from 6 to 10 p.m. in the Mocha Plaza. Once again, that's Saturday, March 28th. Next Saturday, April 4th, we are hosting our spring egg hunt. This is an annual event that is hosted by the Parks and Recreation Department, and it's a great time to enjoy springtime in the park at the Enchanted Forest Elaine Gordon Park, which is located at 1725 Northeast 135th Street. The gates open at 10 a.m. There is a cost for admission. It is $1 per person, and activities will be available for children aged 12 and under, such as inflatable games, face painting, and a good old-fashioned egg hunts. Don't forget to bring your own basket or bag for the egg hunt. For more information, you may contact the Parks and Recreation Department at 305-895-9840. On Saturday, April 11th, we are hosting the American Cancer Society's Relay for Life event. This is an annual event that is a fundraiser for the American Cancer Society, and you may have participated in one of our relays in the past or in another community's relay. For more information, we are still taking teams to register for the Relay for Life North Miami. You may log on to relayforlife.org/North Miami FL to find out all of the information about this year's American Cancer Society Relay for Life. It takes place at Cagney Park, which is located on the field space of North Miami Senior High School. That's 13498 Northeast 8th Avenue. The opening ceremony is on that Saturday, April 11th at 12 p.m. Okay. Also, a quick announcement on behalf of the Biscayne Landing Local Preference Office. Scholarships are now available for vocational and construction training opportunities. You can stop by the Biscayne Landing Local Preference Office anytime Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. until 4 p.m. to find out more information on the programs available and how you may qualify. Deadlines for some of the programs are next Wednesday, April 1st. So if you are interested, you can visit the local preference site, which is located off of Biscayne Boulevard at Northeast 151st Street at the entrance to FIU Biscayne Bay campus. It's right on the southeast corner, and it formerly known as the Biscayne Landing Sales Center. So scholarship opportunities available. Please come out and find out more. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pam. Will, Mr. Manager, do we have any additions or deletions? With the, you will that the item about ATS, that we should have a discussion about it when I talk to you during the week?
Yeah, the chief
Yes.
would be here if, just for the discussion.
Okay. So we can add it at the end?
If you so choose, as a discussion item, the chief will be here to present, yes.
Okay, at the very end, okay. So do we have any city projects update?
Yeah, I'd like to call Derek Corker, Parks and Recs Department, for updates on District 4 projects.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Derek Corker, Parks and Recreation. Gonna have a brief PowerPoint presentation for some upcoming projects that have been completed in District 4. We were giving proposed costs for some improvements on the tot lots of $22,000. We replace windscreen, soil, sod, trees, silver buttons, trash can receptacles, benches, signage, irrigation and ADA walking path, playground equipment. This is your welcome to Overbrook. This was the phase 1, the beginning, how it looked prior to the start of the project. This is also your phase 1. In phase 1, we included a ADA walking path that was not there currently. This now gives us access to the facility from the beginning of the easement all the way into the current property where the parking lot adjacent to where the parking lot begins all the way to the playground area itself. Your final stages where we increased with new playground equipment, new swing sets, new benches and table. You can see that we have a new color scheme that we are going with. It is the blue. that gives us a representative of the North Miami logo. And North Miami Tot Lot is now your North Miami green space. We also improved the ADA surfacing there that gives everyone access. You now have a nice, beautiful relaxation area that you can have at any time if you would like to enjoy your lunch, if you would like to just go and read a book. It is a very pleasant surprise, very shaded, and has great amenities there. Oleander was a project that has been discussed by the budget department and the city manager regarding the splash pad improvements, parking area, site lighting, playground equipment with a shade structure and surfacing, and 2 shelters with lighting. These are proposed and rough estimates from contractors that we have discussed and provided us some numbers with. They're not exact numbers, but they are rough estimates of the project costs. I would like to give a special thanks to our staff, our park staff, and our right-of-ways maintenance from Public Works for their hard work and dedication. They make this happen. The work that you see all came from internal. Our guys do a very good job. I'm very happy and pleased with the service that we provide to the residents, and I look forward to doing more projects for the community. Any questions or comments?
What's the status of the North Bay Shore Park? I know they're working. What's our estimated time on that?
We still have an estimated time of May 14th as a completion date. The project is moving along very smoothly. We have completed our permitting process with Durham. We are just received our stamp of approval, so they are moving ahead of schedule.
Okay. Through the city manager, Derek, I know that you give me the price and all the rendering, but what is the estimate time, the finishing time, the completion time on this, the Oleander?
For Oleander?
Yeah.
We're still in the process of trying to recoup and trying to secure funds. Again, we went out to find cost estimates on the amenities that were requested. And right now, we have those cost estimates, but
We
now
do have, I mean, I let the city manager answer that because I don't think that we are looking for fund. The fund is there, except that
The capital improvement funding that we had for throughout the city,
yes.
we set aside actually 200,000 per district. I've set aside 100,000 for your request for the splash pad. That funding, we're gonna try, we are getting prices right now. If it comes under the 100,000 requirement per our code, I could go ahead, get 3 prices and move ahead with the project.
Okay. Thank you. Through the mayor, I don't know if it's the right time to discuss the 7th Avenue median. I know that we discussed this before. There are a couple of residents that was very upset about it. If I don't forget, if I can remember, I think even former Mayor Kevin Burns came and discussed it as well. And I thought that when we met with FDOT, we went and look at it, and they didn't say that it was ugly, but they didn't say that it was the best of what they have been doing. Apparently, until now, they have not decided to change it. Apparently, they're not gonna change it, instead of, if the city doesn't do anything about it.
You want to add
So
it
what I'm
as a
suggesting-
discussion item?
Well, not is that a
No?
discussion? What I'm asking, what I would like to ask the city manager to do is to go out there, continue to talk with FDOT to see that how much it would cost us if they would give us a permit through the fund that we have for the district, that if we can actually replace those ugly looking palm trees that they have in the median.
Through the mayor, I did have a meeting with Harold Dunes. We met on 2 other projects, one of them including the 7th Avenue. What was requested from DOT was the funding. As he told me, presently DOT does not have the funding to do the trees. If the city wishes to put in the medjool palms, we actually could apply for a permit through the permitting department and install it. I believe that if we locate funding to put in 20 medule palms. As long as they meet the engineering requirements, we will go ahead and apply for the permit to do so.
So can you come back for the next council meeting to let us know?
Right.
You know?
I will continue talks with him and I'll give you a report on it.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Derek.
Thank you.
Thanks, Derek.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, Mr. Clerk, consent agenda.
Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So move.
Second.
Motion was made by Mayor Smith to approve the consent agenda. It was seconded by Councilwoman Sterrill. Anyone wishes to record a no, which would indicate a yea vote? 5-0. Tab. For the record, the consent agenda approved 5-0.
To
Tab
public.
H. Proposed resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, authorizing the creation of the Rate Action Committee, RAC, to provide recommendations, guidance, and support the city administration on matters regarding the water and sewer rate study in accordance with proposed bylaws in substantially the attached form, and further authorizing the city manager to do all things necessary to establish and implement the RAC, providing for an effective date and for all other purposes.
Okay, do we have a presentation by staff?
Yes, I'd like to introduce Duke Sorry, our budget manager.
Good evening. Arthur Sorry, Budget Manager, Budget Director, I'm sorry.
What's the difference? The salary?
Yes,
What
the salary.
happened?
Which one is more?
I didn't hear
The
it.
director.
Okay, so you are so you want to be demoted?
No, I'm the Budget Director. I'm here to discuss the Rate Action Committee, the overview and the function. I do like to go over the background. Back on December 9th, 2014, the council did vote to eliminate the second base meter charge from the utility bill. This vote that we did make basically affected 612 utility customers. And there was a financial impact of removing the base charge for the second meters. This financial impact was approximately $251,000. At that time, the council did vote for staff to move forward with going to do a study because this negative impact will have to be identified because that's per year. The $251,000 is a per year cost that the utility will be losing. So this fiscal year, we're gonna, lose $250,000. Staff's goal is to have this problem just before the new fiscal year starts. We do not have the proposal in place right now, but however, in moving forward, we wanted to come with the Rate Action Committee to have this body actually adopt the committee and then would give the body 2 weeks to come up with their selections of members for the committee. Why do we need to address the $251,000? Built into the utility rates, we have a rate stabilization fund. In case the cost of water does exceed when we buy from the county, we have a fund set up that addresses this problem. For replacement vehicles are brought out of the water and sewer account. Any change to the utility and the finance portion of it does affect this. Renewal and replacement, R&R, we're responsible for the utility. It's our utility. We do renewal and replacement every year throughout the year and as things do break down. And also we have a fund reserve for the account. All of this was identified in the first study. By removing the second meter base charge, we have compromised that study, and now we're looking to address the problem. I'll start with my presentation for the Rate Action Committee. The purpose of the Rate Action Committee will be to provide leadership and guidance for the city as a whole. This committee will be aligned with this new study that we're gonna do, and they'll meet approximately about 10 meetings that they will have to work with the consultants on developing the new rate structure and how the rates will be broken down. The committee will be made up of 11 voting members, 2 members appointed by each council person and 3 members appointed by the mayor. The members placed on this committee must be residents, business owners, property owners, are individuals that do pay our utility rates. We'll have basically it'll be a quorum of 7 voting members required for all meetings. Any member who misses 2 meetings will be disbanded from the committee. And the meetings will be advertised and published, so anybody from any residents can show up to the meetings to understand what's going on during this process. The functions: to provide recommendations to the council for approval of the new rates, establish goals and objectives for developing the water rates, review analysis found by the consultants, and then ultimately to vote and finalize proposed water rates with the council. That's pretty much it. The one issue, what makes this committee very important is if we do let consultants come and determine how the $250,000 is going to be spread out, we want to make sure that we do, staff recommends having a committee in place so everybody has a say. We'll have the business owners will have a say. We'll have the residents will have a say. Multifamily units will have a say. Everybody will be at the table when this decision is being made. Everybody will have their questions to ask. Everybody will have their recommendations. This is just a proactive way for the staff feels would eliminate any problems in the future, and it'll take away, basically, we won't get to a point where we had last time because we'll have public buy-in. You guys would have appointed members to this committee, so it'll be your constituents, your business owners that'll have buy-in at the committee and help us determine the rate structure and how it moves forward. They'll provide recommendation. The ultimate decision will be placed on this council, but at least you'll know that your constituents were part of the process. Thank you. Take any questions.
Thank you very much. Mr. Manager, do you have anything to add?
The only thing I would like to add, with the adoption of the last rate study, we know what has happened or what happened when a lot of residents turned out, and especially residents and business owners. With the adoption of this rate action committee, what it does, it sort of creates a sensitivity analysis. Sensitivity in terms of the industrial, the commercial users, which are the larger users on the system, on the water system, and the impact it will have or the proposed impact on any new rates moving forward. So I think this sensitivity analysis with this committee is sort of buying by all parties, whether you're commercial, industrial, residential, or multifamily. And moving forward, there would be complete buying with utility customers.
Thank you very much. Mr. Director, you may now be seated. Public hearing is open. Anyone who wishes to be heard, please do it now. Public hearing is now closed. Members from the dais?
Sure. I don't like this.
Okay.
I can save everybody all this effort
Sure.
and tell you what this committee, which would be a political committee, which we need less of in this city, what the committee will say. My rates, go down, please. My rates, go down. So I don't see the need in us appointing a bunch of residents to a committee who are probably already serving on 5 other committees to talk about rates, to come back and tell us they would like them to go down. Unless I'm missing something here, I don't see why if you want to get public input, maybe you have some workshops, which I'm not a huge fan either, but I just don't see the need for us to appoint a committee and then you guys have to at some point make executive decisions and stand by them, not leave them up to us to let it be a political back and forth fight.
Okay.
Next.
When the base rates first came in, the first bills, I think staff determined a couple years ago that if we eliminated the base rate, it was going to be less revenue of approximately $250,000.
That's correct.
We were told a couple years ago that we couldn't do anything without a study. We pushed for a study. We pushed 2 years to get that study done, and we spent $23,000. I was real disappointed in the study because what they did is they came back and said, oh, well, if you eliminate the base rate, it's going to cost us $250,000. We already knew that. So I'm really disappointed in the $23,000 we spent. I was hoping that that study was going to give us the solution as to where to find and how to address the water so the 250 could be absorbed into the system, or how we were going to do that. Now we're looking at another study. So my question is, I got some of my answers this evening. We're talking about 10 meetings. I echo Mr. Councilman Galvin. I think it should be transparent. I think a couple workshops would be okay. 2, 3 workshops, invite the public, the business owners, the apartment building owners, and make it public. But to go for, we can't get our boards to meet with a quorum. And if we think we're going to get this group of 11 to meet 10 times, it's not going to happen. And more importantly, what is this study that we're looking at going to cost, and what is it going to cost us to have somebody coordinate the 10 meetings and this group? Because I think that's not going to come free unless staff is doing it. So I'm not a big fan. I don't want to spend $50,000 to save $250. We're just study. We're throwing so much money out. I think staff could, with their own accounting, figure out what it's going to take. I spoke to Arthur about it. Tweak it a little here, charge a few dollars more here, adjust it here. I don't think we need 11 people meeting for 10 weeks and a professional person to do a study and spend a fortune.
Any other comment?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I remember last time when we vote to take out the charge, the second meter charges.
Oh, correct.
That's when, and we recommend that you go and do the study for everybody, because what we did last time is to lower the water bill on people who can afford it, when the entire city need a break on the water bill, and that's why we asked you to do that.
Correct.
That's when, if you think you can come up with a plan to lower everybody's water bill the same way you did for those people, 500 people who can afford it, and it will be good for the city, because what happened right now is some people are going to come to us and say, you lower the water bill for about 500 people, the people that can afford it, then what about everybody? That's why we ask staff to do that study. That's mean if staff can come up with a plan to lower everybody's water bill, and I'm fine with it, and I don't think we need another committee to come up and tell us everybody need a break on the water bill.
Councilwoman? The only Councilwoman? You sure? Well, I don't know. Maybe I am missing something. I'm not under the impression that this committee that we want to create, or that was recommended to us by our consultant, right?
Correct.
So we agreed to to go out there and hire a consultant, and here we are at the inception of this whole project. We are rejecting the recommendations from our consultant, whom we are going to pay a salary to consult with. So if we are starting this project by just rejecting the recommendations of a consultant, so consultant, we don't need you. I'm not going to pay you and then to refute everything that you come up here and recommend to us, and for us to say that we don't want your recommendations. The way that I do understand it, this committee will be formed to meet with our consultants. They will not have any say-so of any decision-making process. The final decision will be made by us, the board members. That's one. And my second point is that every time that we talk about transparency, and that's the beginning of transparency, people like to be involved in the decision-making process. They like to, the people who elect us, they want to feel that before we make decisions that affect their lives, they want to have a say-so. And that's why I really applauded the city manager when he came to me with the idea of coming with this committee. And we're talking about people who pay taxes, they pay water bills, be it a multi-unit owners and whoever it may be. And I think it's a great thing, to get people involved in the decision-making process. That way people can't come back and say, that, hey, listen, guys, you say that up there, you make those decisions. We are not involved, so therefore we are not responsible for any adverse effects that happen from our decisions. So, and they don't have, this committee will not have any say-so on the way we move forward. My understanding is that they would be there to assist the consultant in the findings, in the study that will be done, and then we'll be meeting with them.
It's a purely advisory role.
Periodically.
Purely advisory role. The committee.
And that's part of our democracy too. I mean, that's the demo part of democracy. Demo means people involved
May I ask one
in the
question?
decision-making process. It's very simple.
I'd just like to know, okay, our consultant recommended this. What is our consultant going to charge us to monitor or run this study? And before I vote on it, I'd like to know if we have this committee, what is it going to cost the city to have this committee? What's the bottom line?
Well,
This committee's going to cost the city before we vote on something. We're voting on a committee, but if we're voting on spending some money this evening, and I want to know how much it is.
Well, I believe the consultant is here, right? No? No?
The consultant is here, but on the pricing, there's no fixed cost. There's no cost for this part of the job or setting up the committee as yet. Setting up the committee is the first thing. The second phase of the program, or the second phase, would be actually getting a cost, and whether it's this consultant who did our first rate study or whether it's another rate consultant. So setting up the committee is the first thing. After the committee is set up, then the rates, the new rates would be looked at carefully.
Alim, just a question, sorry.
Sure.
And the committee not going to get paid.
No, it's not. It's
Okay,
a
that's what
purely
you need to do.
advisory, just
Yeah.
like your CRA advisory board.
Advisory to the consultant, not to us.
That's correct.
Is it?
They're gonna be advising both staff and the mayor and council.
But is the consultant going to charge us to run this committee? What's it going to cost to meet, staff meeting, setting up a room 10 times with staff, overtime, and the consultant, is he just going to come in here and run a meeting and not charge us extra to do that?
Yes,
Madam
there is a
Vice
cost.
Mayor, we just spent $250 taking away the second meter. $250 a year. 250,000. Right? 250,000.
But I can tell you where to say
Please,
200.
wait. If I'm talking, you cannot be talking.
You're right.
Please. $250,000 that I voted for, that I really came and spoke on behalf of taking away this second meter, that when I was campaigning, knocking on people's doors, and it was a big issue for them, and I did promise them that I would come to this dais and work with all the city council members to see to it that we take this second meter, out. And it's costing the city $250,000 a year. If you multiply that by 4 years, that's $1 million. And we worried about what it's going to cost to meet, which is probably going to be what? Maybe $200-300 to give some cookies and waters and tea to the people who are attending the meeting. Come on, this is ridiculous. I think a committee would be good to just meet with the consultant. There is the phrasing in French. I don't know how to say it in English. Du choc et des lumières jaillit la lumière. No, du choc des idées jaillit la lumière.
That's a lot of French.
Du choc des idées jaillit la lumière. If you have multiple ideas from different people, you will shed lights in a lot of problems. I mean, there is nothing wrong with listening to different people.
Mr. Mayor?
Go ahead.
Thank you. All right. I'm not voting for this, but I'm gonna play the game for a minute. You're gonna have 10 meetings.
Correct.
201, everybody is going to say, I want my rates to go down. Whether I'm a resident, whether I'm a business, I want my rates to go down. You can probably establish that opinion in the very first meeting. What will the successive 9 meetings talk about? Will you give them entree to the budget to say, fire this person, cut that program, get rid of this to save the money we need? I mean, is that what you're intending to give them?
No, actually, as I said, as
M-
part of
Mr. Manager, I would like to hear from the consultant, please. Can you please come forward? I think he's better suited to answer these questions. Why do we need a committee, Mr. Consultant?
City Council members, Mr. Mayor, good evening. Good to see you all. As it relates to the advisory or the rate action committee, typically this committee is set up, and you have utilities all across the country that utilize this committee as an advisory branch to city staff and the council. Just as the city manager said, to provide an opinion and serve in an advisory role to assist the council and staff in making these decisions. Councilman Galvin, you're absolutely correct. You know, it's a long and tedious process. And typically how it works is the analysis has multiple steps by which you have to go, do the research, complete the analysis, and present the results. And upon understanding and presenting the results, then there are decisions to be made. For example, you're right, everybody wants their rates to come down, but really what can the city do? We look at the financial plan. We see what we need to do for rate increases. Then we speak as a team, look at our goals and objectives, and see how best everybody at the table can meet and align those goals and objectives, and in doing so, develop a financial plan. And then there are multiple steps and processes across the methodology that's utilized to do the analysis. And those are the meetings that you have and get the buy-in. So what that does firstly is inform and educate the members of the committee, which then become an extension of your constituents. So it helps you to promote to your constituents, if you like it or not, but it helps you to promote what it is we're doing. It helps to educate all the stakeholders at the table. And then it's a value chain that gets everybody connected, you know, through that entire decision process. So typically, so at the end, and not to talk too much, but at the end, when this decision comes to you, and whether it is the chair or whoever on this committee or the consultant is presenting to you, everybody that would have been in this committee would stand by this decision. It would be transparent and clear, and then it would ultimately make the city look good, make your job be easier, and it would be a real fluid, it's meant to be a fluid and transparent process that helps to get a better decision at the end. Sorry for giving you such a long explanation.
Can I have a question? Okay. I don't want to talk about it because I really don't understand exactly what we're trying to accomplish.
Okay.
But until now, I still not understand what is it that we try to accomplish. First of all, your recommendation is for us to create a committee. That's the recommendation, something like that?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. My second question, what is the objective? What is the goal? Is it for us to find strategy how to lower the water bill?
Okay. The objective, Councilwoman, is to get all the stakeholders who are involved and...
Can you give me like in one sentence?
Okay.
Just the objective is...
The
and blah, blah,
objective
blah.
is to get participation and transparency.
To do what?
To set rates, to establish your rates. So whether it's going to be to lower your rates, to establish the plan to develop your water and sewer rates.
So thank you so much, through the mayor to the city manager, and I hope that that's what we have been conveyed to you. From my point of view, for understanding and listening for the past 10 years from my constituent, I think the objective is to lower the water bill, not the utility bill. We're talking about the water bill. So what I was expecting to hear tonight is to work on a strategy how to lower, because we don't need any other study. We already know what we want. What we need is to lower the water bill. Either that we can do it, or there's a possibility to do it, or we cannot do it. And I'm ready and willing to deal with either one of them. What we need to find out is what can the city do? The same way that I think the councilman mentioned it earlier and the mayor said, we supported the removing of the second meter base fee, which I think that was fair. And we agreed up here. So that was a quick fix. We didn't even need a study for that because we know what they wanted and we know what we were voted for and then we get it done. So what we have been asking is to lower the water bill, but as responsible people, we have to actually stand by our decision. If there is any way, we have to take responsibility to tell the people, listen, it's just like the electricity bill. You use it, you pay for it. However, if there is a charge that the city can actually absorb to lower even a penny, we just have to tell them we only can lower a penny or we can't do it. But spending more money with study, creating committee, at the end of the day, what we're going to tell them?
Right.
We already know.
Okay.
So let's just be,
Sure.
let's just be serious. To me, I'm not, and I understand where the mayor is coming from, that we need to be transparent. We need a committee. We need the people to get involved. And he's right. I want the people to get involved, but I don't want to play them neither. The way that we're doing right now, we're just playing around. And trust me, if we tell them the truth, to me, transparent is telling the truth. If we tell them the truth, when we know the truth, that will be okay. But playing them around, give them false hope, that's where the problem coming from. And right now, I think that's what we're trying to do right now. We're not telling them the truth. I'm assuming staff to go back. We know what the rate is. We know what we can do. Go deep to see that, like, there was a time when we talked about not just the water bill, because I have been living in the city for the past 26 years. I know there's no way you can lower my water bill because I use those water. If I use it, I have to pay for it. The same thing that I use the electricity. But what we can do, we can actually lower our utility, not even the utility, the entire bill. Which including the sanitation, including the water bill and
water,
sewer and all
sewer,
that.
everything, yeah.
By doing what? The sanitation, the city actually collecting a fee, administrative fee. Maybe we don't need all that money. Maybe we can lower the administrative fee, which will decrease the entire utility bill. That's what we need to focus on. But playing with the water bill, it's a big lie. It's a big lie because the water bill is not even that much money. It's probably like $42. It's not that much money. How much money are you going to remove from $42? $2? If I take a shower, I water my grass or whatever, you cannot remove that price because I use the water. So maybe what we need to go back, and I'm going to say it and say it again, and not because that I'm not in the election, because I never promise people I'm going to reduce the water bill. Anyone can come up here, say that I have ever promised about the water because I know it's a lie. But what we can do up here, Mr. Mayor, if you want, you can sit down with the city manager. He knows what I'm talking about. Go and look the sanitation that we actually charge the constituent, I think, what, $21, $11?
It is a $10.
$10 for administrative fees. Try to see where can we, when we actually discuss the sanitation fees with Westpro, which should be up anytime soon. And they promise of us after a certain amount of years, they will lower the fee that they charge. And then from there, we can actually lower the fee that we charge our constituent. That's the only way that we can reduce the water bill, but not from all that rate study, the committee. I'm not going to vote for this because that's not the right way to do it. Please, the mayor is new. He probably not well informed about what I'm talking about, which you know. Tell him he's a good person. He'll listen and he will do the right thing. So, having said that, Mr. Mayor, I fully supported your idea. I know the intention is to lower the water bill, but this is not the right way because you're not being informed the right way to do it. The right way is to go back.
Madam Councilwoman,
Yes, sir.
I'm not a dummy. I have a brain.
Definitely not.
I've been sitting here for 4 months as a medical doctor who's been through difficult training, being able to absorb humongous amount of information in one night and to go the following day and make a presentation in front of 200 scientists. I think it's an insult for you to stand here and tell me that I'm new, I do not know what I'm talking about, what I am doing. And anybody who sits up here, we come here to try to do good by the people who elect us. So just to sit here and give a big speech about not being to do anything about the water bill just because, it's okay. But when we voted for it last time, we all agreed that we are going to do a study like no other. The previous studies that were done, I looked at them. It did not involve the residents' input. It did not involve the multi-unit owners. It did not involve the dry cleaning owners who actually pay the most amount of the water bill. There are business owners who pay over $15,000 worth of water bill every month. It's not just the sanitation bill, Madam Councilwoman. It's the water also. We need the input of the dry cleaning companies who pay over $16,000 a month worth of water bill. It needs the input of the person who make $10 an hour and paying $900 worth of water bill every 3 months. So we need to address these issues. I think we would rob these people by standing here and telling them that we cannot do anything. I would go by what Obama said. Yes, we can. With all due respect.
Mr. Mayor, I apologize if you feel offended about anything I
I
said.
am not offended. I know who I am. I know what I'm worth. I know what I can do.
May I finish?
I do not feel offended one bit. I'm just stating the fact.
However, sitting up here for 4 months, having a couple of degrees did not. You
Well,
do not know. That doesn't make.
I proved that I
Mr.
can
Mayor,
learn a lot of information in 4 months.
Mr. Mayor, that's good to know.
4 months that I've been sitting here.
That's good to
And
know,
when,
but that doesn't
when I
make
sat
you
down
know
and
everything.
met with the city manager, along with the consultant, you were not there. You were not. Were you there? Have you sat down and talked to the consultant yet about this issue? Have you, Mr. Consultant?
Are we making it bit?
No. Have you sat down with any other member of this council besides me?
No, I have
Okay.
not. I know I spoke with Councilwoman Sterl when we did the last.
Why
study
have you not
along-
made it a task to talk to them?
Because I didn't
have,
need to.
have you
After
tried?
10 years, I already know exactly
Have
what's
you
going
tried,
on.
Mr. Consultant, to talk to any of the other members?
I was working, Mr. Mayor, I was working through the city manager and staff, and I would not personally go around them to try and meet with anybody unless they requested my presence.
No, I did not ask to meet with you because I did not have to.
And staff.
And Mr. Mayor, can from the last time we vote to take out the second meter, we asked you, right, to hire a company and and conduct a study for the entire city, right?
Yeah, at that time.
It was our recommendation, and now if we want to change that, we always can vote again and change that. But last time we asked, that was the recommendation, and from what I understand, in your previous recommendation, recommend that we put together a committee. Now, if we feel like we don't want to follow the recommendation by putting that committee, but at the same time continue with the study for the entire city, we can change it.
That's correct.
But it was our previous recommendation.
Yes.
That's correct.
Then I don't know if someone wanna come with a motion. It's what we wanna do. If we're gonna do the study with the committee, or if we wanna do it without the committee. And like Councilwoman still said, and it's not only the water bill. At least maybe that study can look at the whole thing, the whole bill, and see if it's not the water, what can be done in order to lower the bill of the people, or of everybody, including businesses and residents. I think we got to come up with something. We can come up with something.
What if we continue this idea of the RAC? I like the transparency. I like workshops. We haven't approved a study yet. We haven't done the RFP. We don't have the study. I'd like to hear from the people proposing their study, what it is that we need, and if we do need an RAC, we can address it after we get the company to do it. we're forming a committee before we have the company. If Black and Veatch is not our bidder, the responsive bidder, then we might be dealing with somebody else, a different company that doesn't want an RAC. So what if we just continue this till we do get and approve the final study, and just hold off on deciding anything this evening?
Well, the clerk is not here. Anybody can make a motion.
I would
And
make a
if I
motion to-
understand,
I would make a motion to
Can I
continue this
understand it
until we
first?
get our study
Oh.
and decide which direction we're gonna go.
Exactly the same thing you said. She just said in a shorter sentence.
okay, and
Fired, Mr. Clerk.
Sorry, dealing with clerk stuff outside.
Go
Okay,
ahead.
so do I have a motion to approve tab H?
No, there isn't.
There's no motion?
No.
Okay,
There's a
so
motion I made a motion to
Amendment.
continue this item
To
until
continue
such
or-
time as we have approved a rate study and we've done the bid,
So-
whatever it is that the city is going to go forward with. At that time, after we've voted on the rate study, then if we still need an RAC, we can decide whether we want to appoint
So
one
at this
that
time, we're simply making a motion to
To
table this
continue.
item for future. Okay,
I
so
second it.
yeah, but before,
After you done
no,
table it,
no.
you can actually give the you can give direction to the
No,
city
it's
no,
manager.
it's not direction. You vote. We vote already. The only thing we did not vote is the committee.
It was for the committee.
Yeah, but we vote already for you to hire or put an RFP to hire a company to do a study for the entire city.
Yep.
We did that before.
Yep.
That's two things.
But that's not during this meeting, right? This was during a previous meeting?
Yeah, that
Okay.
that was approved. Now, if we want to table it, just table the committee. The idea of putting together a committee.
Right.
So just for the record, we're just tabling tab H as it relates to the committee. The motion was made by Vice Mayor Keys. It was seconded by Councilwoman Sterrill, and it's simply to table this particular item regarding the committee.
But
committee.
when we do that, what happens? How is the consultant going to move forward?
He can't.
No,
What-
the,
what's-
is
what's the
the
next
city
step?
manager going to continue with hiring a company to do the study.
They can't move forward until we get the study, the consultant in place.
What happened?
They can't move forward
Would
with
they?
the rate action committee, but the rate study itself for the
Mhm.
15-16 agenda, we can move with that.
Yeah, exactly. The only thing is the committee.
Okay.
Anyone
But we
wish-
still continue the study.
You can continue a rate study
This
without
is-
the rate action committee.
Right.
I think
Okay.
that's
Without the
Yeah,
committee.
that's
This
what
is
it
only
yeah.
suspending the committee
Yeah.
at this point. Okay.
correct.
Anyone wishes to record a nay?
Nay.
Item passes 4-1. So this item is officially tabled. You guys see how important the clerk is, right?
No.